Okay, so you want to make a cool space to play your games and stuff in. You've got multiple consoles, you've got multiple displays, you've got switchers, splitters, scalers, all kinds of stuff that you need to work in order to make your dream space happen. Now, here's the key. You'll want a signal flow. This is a critical piece of the design process that a lot of people skip over. You can sketch it out on a good old piece of paper. You could do it however you want to do it. But today, I'm going to show you how to make a basic signal flow using KiCad 7. Now, I trust if you found your way to YouTube, you're smart enough to Google KiCad 7 and download it from the website and install it. So once you do so, you're going to want to open up KiCad. So we're going to go over here, open it up, blah, blah, blah. Now you're greeted with the window. You want to create a new project. Let's save it to the desktop. We're going to call this test. Now, KiCad 7 was actually designed to create PCBs. But with the software, they have a fantastic schematic editor. That's where we're going to be working. So go ahead and open that up, and we're greeted with our workspace. So up at the top is your standard file, save, print, good stuff. We're not going to worry too much about that today. We're not using it yet. Over on the right-hand side, though, are all the various tools that we can utilize to make our fancy drawing. So in the center, this is your workspace. This is a standard paper size, I think 11 by something or another. Here in the corner, we can add our title. We can do revision numbers. Do those revision numbers. It is so important to keep your drawings up to date because 2 years from now, when something breaks, you don't want to scratch your head going, I wonder how this went together. Do revision numbers. Make sure you know. Anyway, so this page size is fine if you have a couple consoles and maybe a display. But if you have a more advanced drawing, kind of like the one I have for my space that you can see here, this was made in Autodesk, AutoCAD, but you could essentially do the same thing here in KiCad. Anyway, if you have a bigger setup, you're going to want a bigger page. So let's go over here to the top at File, Page Settings, and where it says Paper Size, we're going to go with a 22 by 34 inch. And this is a very standard CAD size document. So we're kind of scaled weird, so your scroll wheel will allow you to zoom in and zoom out. If you double click it, it will self-center the picture. So when you make a signal flow drawing, the mistake I made at first, you don't want everything to interweave together and look sloppy. You want to be able to read it from left to right, just like a standard document. Just do it. Anyway, the reason for this, we want our inputs on the left side, our connection devices in the center, and our outputs on the right. So since we know this, you can kind of go, well, I want to hook up two TVs. I've got two TVs in my room. So we're going to make a square. Oops, I forgot to show you how to make a square. Anyway, on your right hand side, you'll find the Add a Rectangle tool. Left click that. You're just going to left click once, not click and drag, just one click. And now we can make our square. Left click again. Now you've made your square. So go up to the top, select your pointer arrow. This is how we're going to move all of our devices. So we're going to kind of put this at the center. We're going to go back to our square tool. We're going to left click and we're going to make kind of a rectangle. Perfect. Now we've got two squares, but we need to know what these squares do. So go over to the right side of your toolbar and we're going to add text. Now this text window is going to come up. And what you're going to want to do is name your device. So one, we're going to do 20-inch. Oh geez, I cannot type today. 20-inch CRT. And I like to make my labels on this page size about 5 millimeters. And we're going to click OK. Now we've got our label. We can just drag it wherever or pull it wherever we want. Left click. Congratulations, you have now labeled your square as the CRT. So if you hit your escape key, that will bring you back to your pointer. But instead of doing all those steps for each and every device we're going to add, I like to click on the current label, Control C, Control V, and we're going to copy and paste. And then you just double click the label, and this is going to be our baller 75-inch OLED. Okay, perfect. Now we've got our two displays. So now we need stuff to connect to these. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over, add a rectangle. We know how to do that now. We're getting more and more confident with it. We're gonna add 4 squares here. So I like to kind of line up my devices by their margins. You don't have to do this is preference, but I feel like it looks a little cleaner. So now we need to label our input devices. Since these are on the left hand side, these are our inputs. So we're going to Control C, Control V, copy paste. Again, you're getting to be a pro at this. This one is going to be our Turbo Graphics 16. And okay. Now we're gonna copy paste, and copy paste. But not all of these are TurboGrafx. So let's double click. This is gonna be our Super Nintendo. This one's gonna be our Wii. And this one is gonna be our PS5. Perfect. Now we've got our consoles, now we've got our displays. How are we connecting them? So when you're starting out and you're designing your space, this is where signal flows really kind of shine. So you can say, all right, I've got analog signals, I've got digital signals. I'm converting a couple of these analog signals to digital. One of them, I'm just going to run straight to the TV. So I know I'm going to have 2 HDMIs. So over here towards the TV, we're going to add a square. You know what, we'll throw another square up here as well. And we'll give them some labels using copy and paste. You're getting so good at that. I'm proud of you. This is going to be a 2x2 HDMI matrix. And then we're going to copy paste. And this is going to be our Tink 5X Pro, our analog to digital scaler. So now we've got some devices so we can make some connections happen. So what we want to do on the right hand side, go to add a wire, and we're going to start with the most simple first. I like to come out of our input device, so left to right, and you want to left click, and you're just going to drag a wire. Now you can move your mouse up and down to create an angle. Sometimes it's helpful to kind of click and then move down, click, then we're going to scoot to the right. And when you've made your connection, you're going to right click, finish wire. You have successfully connected a console to your TV in a drawing. Anyway, we're going to make another one coming out of our Super Nintendo. We're going to come over here, angle down, angle right, finish the wire. We're going to come out of our Wii. We're going to go straight into the good old Tink. We're going to finish that. Now we're going to come out of our PS5. And we're going to kind of come up, over, finish wire. You're getting so fast at this. Again. And perfect. Now, I like to kind of make my bins match. You don't have to do this again. Make it to your liking. The world is your oyster, whatever that means. And now we're gonna come out of our matrix into our baller OLED. Perfect. Now we've got all of these wires running everywhere. We have no idea what they are. We need to know this information. This is critical. So what we're gonna do is on the right side, we're going to click this add a net label. And what that's gonna allow us to do, we'll create a label called RF. We'll make this 3 millimeters. And now we can add a label to the wires so we know what kind of connection is going in. I like to add one at the beginning, one at the end. So if you're looking at this from a long distance, you know this is an RF signal coming into that CRT. You don't have to follow the wire. So we're gonna copy, paste to all the beginnings and all the ends of our connections. Look at all of these RF connections. That doesn't make any sense. We're gonna double click and we're gonna change it. So our SNES is actually gonna use S-Video. S-Video. Look at us go. So this one's bleeding over, so we're gonna left click. I said left click and drag. Perfect. Now our Wii, we're actually gonna use YPBPR, which is the acronym for our analog component connection. So YPBPR. I am making sure I abbreviate it with the proper capitalization so I do not get burned on the internet. You guys are ruthless. So our PS5, we're gonna do, HDMI. Again, I like making all my labels capital. You do it how you want to do it. So we got HDMI coming in, going out. Our RetroTink 5X Pro we're using to scale to digital, and we're going to use the HDMI connection to run down the line to our 75-inch OLED. Again, you're just going through, you're double clicking, you're making these changes, you're getting so fast at this because you're so good at it. And then now we have all of our labels. Ruh-roh, I just realized I deleted a line. Not the end of the world. So what we're actually gonna do, we're gonna click this wire here, and I'm just gonna add a wire coming from here, going back to our Wii. Fixed. Perfect. All right. Now here is a handy tip I like doing. I like adding where the wire is going, because when you have a broad range of inputs, devices, outputs, it kind of helps to be able to glance at the document and know where everything's going. So we're gonna make a copy and paste from one of our wire labels, go about to the center of that lead, double click, and we're gonna call this TurboGrafx 16/CRT. And now we know this label is running from this device to this device. We're gonna copy paste, and we're gonna do this for every single wire. So now we're gonna change all these labels. We're gonna call this SNES/Tink. Keeping it simple. It's just a simple label for a simple diagram. This is Wii Tink. This is PS5 Matrix. And now this is Tink Matrix. We've already got the PS5 Matrix here, so I'm going to delete that. That was a whoopsie. And then here we've got Matrix OLED. So we have, this is technically done. You can print this, and this will help you out so much in the future. And you can hang it on the wall, you can frame it, you can give it to your mother for Mother's Day, whatever you want to do. But here at Digibit Gaming, I want to equip you to be a little more proficient. So what I'm actually going to do, we're going to change some of these wire colors, so that way at a glance, we'll be able to tell these lines are separate things. They mean different things. So for this green wire, I think I'm just going to leave it the same. But if we double click on our wire, and it will bring up this properties menu. You can change the width. Normally power cables, I like to make a little wider so it catches your attention, like, hey, this is different. We can change our color. It will bring up a window where you can make it any color you want. I'm just going to keep it simple and do a defined color. And I like using the 3 labeled colors. They're a little less vibrant. They show up better on prints. And you can actually change the wire style. You can do dash, you can do dash dot. I'm just going to keep it solid. So click OK. And now we've got a blue wire. So we're going to go through, we're going to do this for every single one of these S video lines. Our YPBPR, let's make it magenta 3. Oops, we've got this little guy here where I made a mistake. We're going to magenta that one as well. Now our HDMI, we're just going to make it black. Perfect. Man, you guys are getting so good at this. You are flying through making your signal flow. So we go over here to black. All the HDMIs are going to be black. Look at us. This signal flow is looking nice. Got black and perfect. Now we're going to go one more step and we're going to make ourselves a little key at the bottom. So let's add a wire. Yep, that looks about good. That looks about good. We're just going to make kind of 4 equally spaced wires down here at the bottom. So we're going to use our arrow tool. We're going to double click. This one, we're going to label RF later. This one is going to be our S video. So it's blue 3. This one is going to be magenta 3. And then this one is going to be black. Now we can actually label these suckers. So if you go to the right, we're going to add a global label, not layer. We're going to call it RF. And it's going to be 3 millimeters on text size. Perfect. Now we're going to give it the good old copy paste treatment. Man, look at us. We are flying. Double click. We're going to relabel to S video. And then this is YPBPR. And then this is HDMI. And look at that. I will call this drawing good enough for a beginning drawing. It tells you all the information you need to know, tells you where your cables are, and most importantly, it's a great reference for the future. Again, this is such a skipped over thing where anytime someone has an issue, it's kind of like you need to know what's connected to what. So if you have no input going to your 75-inch OLED, you can look at your drawing and you can say, oh, okay, it's probably the matrix since the Tink and the PS5 are not registering to it. Just things like that. It'll save you so much frustration in the future. You'll be able to look at it, kind of get a bill of material and be like, oops, I need one more HDMI cable. Because there's nothing worse than building a system and being like, I can't use my new fun thing because I forgot one part. So make sure you do your signal flows and save yourself some headache. But I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know if this helps you out. Let me know how you label and do your different things. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And with all that being said, I will see you on the next one. See ya.